So I'm Vajrashura, and for my thought for today, I wanted to say a few things about commitment. This was sparked off of me when I was reading a seminar with Sangharakshita where he talks about the jewel ornament of liberation. So I'll just read the short quote. So the jewel ornament of liberation, a very old Buddhist text, says, "One must not calculate in seeing enlightenment by thinking that for so many aeons I shall, and so many more I shall not, put on the armour of the Bodhisattva. But one should buckle it on without thought, for thought cannot encompass it." So really what it's talking about is commitment. And it strikes me that it's a good time to think about commitment now that the COVID lockdown is beginning to change, is beginning to ease off, hopefully. And an admonition that we need to remain committed to the three jewels in these new circumstances we find ourselves in. So by remaining committed to the three jewels, or being committed to the three jewels, I mean being committed to the idea that there is enlightenment possible, or to the vision that enlightenment is possible, that we can become a Buddha, the first of the three jewels. Being committed to living out and practicing the Dharma, the second jewel, the Buddha's teachings which lead to the truth, and the truth itself, living by the truth itself, and being committed to the Sangha, the spiritual community, which inspires us, which guides us, and so on. So commitment is something that we do in every moment. It's not something that we set up and then forget about. We commit in every moment. And really what this means for me is being alive to the fires of it's like a fire burning within us, of putting everything in the context of the three jewels, of our path to enlightenment. Being aware as an aspect of mindfulness how what is happening now and what we're doing now relates to our overall commitment of living a Buddhist life. And that's what a Buddhist life is. A Buddhist life is a committed life, a commitment to the three jewels. So the next thing to say then is that commitment is, in a way, unconditional. So we can't decide to just be a Buddhist between the hours of 10 and 5 each day, or we can't decide to just go for refuge to the three jewels on weekdays. We have to do it throughout if it's to mean anything. We have to do it 7 days a week if it's to really mean anything. Or we can't just decide to practice for the next 2 years and then after that we won't practice. It's a bit like saying, if you're a parent, well, I'm only going to be a parent between 9 in the morning and 8 o'clock at night, and outside of those times I'm not going to be a parent. That doesn't make sense, does it? So if you're living a Buddhist life, what you're trying to do is you're living a committed Buddhist life in every moment in your day. You're always trying to relate everything back to the three jewels. The two areas that really strike me here is that you can't be a Buddhist only when things are good. You can't practice the Dharma, you can't commit to going for refuge to the three jewels when things are pleasant, when things are good. And then when things aren't pleasant, you stop practicing. And I see that happening. I see that in people. I see that in myself at times. You kind of wait for things to become pleasant again to really engage with your practice. But also, that's a fair weather Buddhist, you could say. But you can't also be a bad weather Buddhist. So when things are unpleasant or bad, sometimes there's a lot of motivation to practice. And then when things become good again, or we become more integrated and positive, the impetus for practice can disappear very easily. So commitment, our mindfulness of commitment, really trying to practice, can't be conditional upon whether things are pleasant or unpleasant. Yeah. And then the last thing to say is that commitment is unconditional. Commitment is to we can only commit to things that we don't know. We can only commit to the unknown. Firstly, we just don't know where our practice will bring us, what it'll open up for. We don't know what will emerge in meditation, what will emerge in our friendships, what will emerge in our ethics practice when we commit to practice. So in a way, you're committing to the unknown when you commit to Buddhism. You're committing to whatever emerges in your practice in the future. But also we can't know what we're committing to in terms of what enlightenment is. We can have a sense of enlightenment, but we don't really know what enlightenment is. We don't really know what freedom is. So we're committing to that. We're committing to the unknown of that. And part of that commitment is committing to the fact that how we are now will have to be gone beyond. Everything we know and we use to feel safe will have to be let go of. And we'll have to let go and to open up into some kind of spiritual rebirth, which is more than what we are right now. Okay, so that's a few thoughts on commitment. and particularly important as we move out of this period of stability that we've had and sameness that we've had into new horizons and new ways of being and a new much more open world. So remembering to stay committed to the three jewels, that commitment is unconditional and that we're committing to the unknown. Best of luck with it.